Hey, my name is Jamin Desai. I'm in Dr. Crowther's 1102 Literary London class, and for my research project, I did Jack the Ripper, creating the Society of London. Um, for my proposal, pretty much the subject was Jack the Ripper, and the things I wanted to research were the ideas of crime and how Jack got away so easy. Also, how the crime that he did commit and how it was published. Questions I had was like, why did he do it? How was he punished? How did he escape without getting caught? Like, what did the police do? Relevance, sorry. The idea of crime relates to the kids in Oliver Twist during the Victorian era with the whole pickpocketing and how the judicial system worked. And basically, my research plan was to start out with newspaper research and to see what was published about Jack the Ripper, get details about the crime through encyclopedias, using the internet as a big source as well. There might not be enough information on why the Ripper did it and just certain aspects of the proposed or the project itself. So, who is Jack? Jack the Ripper was a anonymous murderer. He pretty much, they still don't know who he was. He apparently killed five women who were all prostitutes. The exact numbers on who or how many he killed, he killed, are still iffy because they weren't sure how to relate the murders. He also had the police and the press and pretty much the whole city in his hands. Everyone was wondering, where is Jack the Ripper? Who is Jack the Ripper? He shaped society in a way that like it's still prevalent today, where everyone looks into who is Jack. They still don't know. They're still looking for it. The murders, all of them were prostitutes. Like I said, they took places in dark alleys around midnight, like the one shown above. It's just Chambers Street. That's where one of the murders occurred. He would also, which was a little weird, take out the organs of the people he murdered, and it was with like the precision of a surgeon. And this showed insight on how the murders were done, and more importantly, on the murder itself. The letters. He sent multiple letters to news agencies and officials. One was titled "Dear Boss," which you can see on the right side. This was a direct challenge to the cops. He was pretty much saying like, "Try to catch me. You're not going to be able to." And this is where he gives himself the name Jack the Ripper. And through the tone of the letter, you can try to get a the characteristics of whoever the Ripper was. Like he seems very arrogant and it shows like sarcastic personality. He's talking to you, President. This was another letter which was titled "From Hell." It was to the president of the Whitechapel Vigilance Committee, and with it he sent the kidney of one of the victims, which is very odd. And this also shows a little bit about the character of the Ripper and how he goes about. He goes on to say he fried and ate the other half of the kidney, again going into the psychoanalysis of the Ripper himself, which a lot of modern day psychologists do. And this shows a lot about, again, his character. The three P's: press, police, and people. This is who he went after. The press, they nothing but Jack the Ripper. Front page was Jack the Ripper. They were they wanted to receive the first letters from the Ripper. It was believed that like the press also created a lot of who the Ripper was. It wasn't that the Ripper did certain things, it's what the press articulated him to be. Therefore, a lot of the evidence was fake and a lot of the print was fantasy. This created confusion between who the Ripper really was, what was true and what was false, which created a lot of discrepancies in the idea. The police at the times were not used to this type of mass crime. This was one of the game changers, you could say, because they made many mistakes in their investigations. They didn't even have the proper tools that we do today, so a lot of the blame may go to the police for not catching the Ripper, but at the same time, the Ripper was a modern day classic murderer. The people, oh man, the people, they all they wanted to hear about was Jack the Ripper. If you look at the picture below, people are gathered at the site of a murder, and everyone's looking into it. Everyone was all around it. It was in the East End, which is very poor, and mostly no one asked about it, or no one really cared about the murders or East End itself, the people in East End. And this kind of again goes into what Jack the Ripper thought, his character, what kind of murderer he really was. And this was the big impact he had on society. Jack the Ripper, it's a mystery yet to be solved, and the impact he had on people back then, he still has on those people today. People are still looking into who he is, and even I'm here trying to do a research project on him. So it's a big mystery and it's yet to be solved. Thanks.